Lesson 22, a number near and dear to my heart because I was a street performer in Key West in about 70, I don't know, must have been 76, 75. It's showing my age. But man, they were intense years. And there was a numerologist, street performer, comedian, weird guy who's probably still performing. I just checked out his website. His name was Love 22. Anyway, 22 is double the first rep unit. Look it up. And it's half of the name of a great Mark Twain story called The Mysterious Stranger. At any rate, if I can find my stylus, we're going to get rid of some stuff and put up some stuff. So let's do some stuff. All right, no matter what, a 6 must appear here in one of these cells. Why? Because we can't use both a 2 or a 3 and a 3. If we do, I can't use a 3 or a 2 here, and I need one of them to combine with one of those to give me a 5 in this cage. So I can't have just a 2 and a 3 here. It's either got to be a 2 and a 6 or a 3 and a 6. Or a 2 and a 6 here and a 3 and a 6. Either way, 6 will appear here. If 6 appears here, in one of these, it cannot appear here, because if it's here, it would mess it up because it's in the same column. And if it's here, this multiplication would give me 36, and I'd have to have a 1 here. There is no 1 here. We can't put a 1 here because there's already 1 in the column. So clearly, a 6 must appear in this row, and that also precludes a 6 from appearing here. So let's trash that 6 right now. Now, if we know a 6 must appear here, it can't appear here. Well, that's pretty good. And we also know I must use a 2 or a 3 here to combine with this 6. If I use a 2, I would have to erase this 2 here. And that would mean this combination would be a 3 and an 8. So if I use a 2 here, I must use a 3 here. If I use a 3 here, I must use a 2 here. So either way, the 2 and the 3 will appear either here or here. That means it can't be over here. Let's get rid of that, making this definitely an 8. And if this is an 8, this must be a 3. So I'll remember to write the 8 big and the 3 big below it. Let's get the pencil tool out and write the 8 here and the 3 below it. What does that show us? Well, that shows us when we do our check in the row, there cannot be any 8s in here. Well, trash that 8. And if there's no 8 there, there's no 3 there. That puts a 7 here and a 2 here, and I'll have to go and write them big. Gosh, I forgot which one was. There's an 8 and a 2 here. This was a 7 here. European 7 here. Feeling rather continental. I'm just going to go back a step to make sure. I'm just going to look. Yeah, okay, the 2 was there. Okay. Let's go back to where I just had it. Fine. All right, the 7 and the 2 belong there. Well, now we can start doing all sorts of fun things. First of all, any 2s in here? Yes, there are. We have to get rid of all the 2s in here. Let me get my eraser out. That's great. So we know the combination here is definitely a 3 and a 6, which means this has to be a 2 here, because 3 times 6 is 18, times 2 is 36, times that 1 is still 36. So we know this is a 2. Let's write it big. Oh, we're getting all sorts of good stuff, aren't we? Pleased with ourselves. At least one of us is. Okay, let's put the 2 in there and stop goofing around. I guess it's easy to get giddy. When you get on a roll, and it is easy to get giddy. You know, when you start getting on a roll like this, off with that 2. Any other 2s in here? It's really easy to start going fast and getting sloppy. Okay, this must be a 4 here. 4 will be on the right, and a 2 will be on the left in this cell. Yeah, once you start getting giddy, you tend to speed up. And when you speed up, you tend to get sloppy. At least I do. So let's try to get a little bit more sober right now. Any 2s to get rid of in this? Nope, but there's a 4 to trash in here. And if I trash that 4, I must trash that 6. Anything else to go? Okay, nothing there. We have gotten rid of these 5s. Let's see what we can. Now let's do a random ecology check. Let's go down here. The 1 and the 2. Can the 2 work? The 2 can work with the 3. The 3 can work with the 4. The 5 can work with the 6. The 6 can work with the 5. Okay, they're all covered. What else can we get rid of? We can get rid of this, checking down this column. We can get rid of this 2. And we can get rid of these 2s. That's going to help us in the future. But this helped us perfectly right here. When we got rid of that 2, we can't have the 2 and the 6, but we can have the 1 and the 6. Right, we couldn't have a 2 and the 6 before anyway. Okay, the 1 and the 6 still work. The 3 and the 8 still work. But we know, oh right, of course, we know 1 must appear here, so it cannot appear here. This is going to be an 8. And if that's an 8, next to it can only be a 3. So let's put in the 3 large and the 8 large. Anything to... Yes, there is. The only place the 6 can appear here is where? In this column? It's pretty clear. So we are doing an awful lot of clearing up. This is where a 6 can appear, and the only place that a 6 can appear. And of course, because the the 7 is here, I know we should get rid of the other 6s, but I saw this right away. The 7 is here. We can trash the 7 at the bottom, making it an 8. Man, okay. First, let's put it in before I forget. And I can either do the check here, or I can go back to doing the check here. It's very easy to lose your train of thought. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to get rid of this 6, this 6. If I get rid of this 6, I have to get rid of this 4, making this definitely a 3-8 combination, and also showing us there are no 7. Well, maybe there could be a 7 in there. I'm not going to take this 7 so quickly. Let's see. Let's get rid of these 8s, and we'll end this lesson, because it's getting a little long, by doing the check in the 18. Well, since we got rid of an 8, we can get rid of the 5s, because that's the only combination there. So we could have, yeah, those can exist. Any other 8s up here? No, no, no. Okay, we're going to end this and do some random checking in the next. Well, we'll check all the rows and all the or a lot of the rows and a lot of the columns in the next lesson. In the meantime, get some sleep.